Good afternoon, good morning or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Today we're going to do a pedal shootout with Boss Overdrive, Super Overdrive SD1. This one's been modded by Keeley, I have to disclose that. A Maxon OD9, which is basically the original circuit of an Ibanez tube screamer, and a Wampler Pinnacle distortion. I'm going to put them through the Line6 Catalyst on the 0.5 watt setting with all the EQs set at 12 o'clock. I'm also going to do two different amp settings on it. I'll do the totally clean amp on it and the crunch, but have the crunch where it's only just breaking up and see the different effect we have on it. At the end, if I have time, I might also do the dynamic one because I'm liking the sound of that one at the moment. So let's get on with it. So, ESP clips, passive pickups, Oil City I think. Signal chain, guitar lead made from Van Dam cable, nitric connectors. Through the polytuner, Boss Overdrive, Maxon Overdrive, Wampler Pinnacle, straight into this, straight in the front, nothing in the effects loop. I'm going to leave a little bit of reverb on it just so it colours it a little bit, but we'll see. Right, that's a bit too... I'll turn the boost off on this. Right, that's just the crunch channel. Volume on the guitar all the way up. Roll back to about 5. That's what I like about these amps. They'll react like a valve amp does. Right, first one. Boss Super Overdrive. I'll do the same riff all the way through them. Maxon. Oh. As you can tell, that Wampler Pinnacle is mental. There's a couple of different settings on that Pinnacle. You can either have it on a modern setting or the traditional one. On all the overdrives, I've got everything at 12 o'clock. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to dime the level on the overdrives and pull the gain back. So let's see, level, drive right back on the first one. I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, this Boss Super Overdrive has been modded by Keeley, so it's not a straight up one. I'm going to get another one and do an A/B between them. Going to get just a standard Boss Overdrive, the modern one. If I can get a Japanese one as well, I might try that too, and get them all lined up and just try and see what they're like. Another thing is I wanted to try them through this amp because when I bought this amp, I wanted to see if an overdrive pedal would work with it properly, like it does a normal valve amp. But I couldn't find any videos on YouTube of somebody sticking a Boss Overdrive in the front of a Line6 Catalyst 100. So hopefully today it'll, if somebody wants to know, it'll help. Right. Level, drive. Without it on. Where I've seen when I've watched Anderton's videos, I've seen people screaming at Lee Anderton and Danish Pete for having an Ibanez tube screamer and just setting it at 12 o'clock, or not using it like people use it to stick into the front of a 5150 or another high gain amp like a Boogie, because a lot of them do that just to tighten the bottom end up, rather than, you know, it might push it a little bit more, but it tightens that sort of really deep bottom end up. I see loads of people having a go at Lee Anderton for saying that he doesn't know how to use an Ibanez tube screamer, but it just shows that there is a massive difference if I bring the level up and the thing there. See how it cleans up as well while it's on. See, it still cleans up fairly well through even while the tube screamer's on. Right, on that tube screamer at the minute, the level is at 3 o'clock, the drive is at 12, and the tone is straight down the middle. Right, just out of interest, I'll do exactly the same with the Boss one, where I have the drive at 12 o'clock, the level at 3, and see what it cleans up like. Right. That's interesting. When it's set like that, where you've got the drive up and the level all the way around on the Boss one, it's either on or off. On the tube screamer, if I can get it to come on. Fair enough, it's not as nasty, but when you roll off your volume, it still cleans up. I'm just going to put everything to 12 o'clock again on both of them and see if the Boss cleans up on that, because we didn't try that, did we? See, it don't clean up anywhere near as much as the Maxon was. I'm surprised at that, with it, especially with it being the Keeley one. There's another setting on this. I'll just change the settings. There's like a little switch. Don't know if you can see it on the other camera. Apparently one changes from it being, it changes something in the circuit, so one is more like a tube screamer and the other is a Boss overdrive, but obviously modded still. Right, I'll just try that. Yeah, it does clean up a little bit better, but it's still nowhere near the sort of clarity that you get when you roll off when you're using the Maxon one, which I'm surprised at, because that's supposed to be a really boutique expensive pedal. I bought that used for 165 quid because I don't think Keeley make them anymore. Right, let's have a mess about with the the Pinnacle. Right, if I dime the volume on it and drop the gain off, roll my volume off on my guitar in case it screams the place down. Nothing. Nothing at all. Let me see. Fair enough. Fair enough. The volume on the Pinnacle works till it's about 2 o'clock, then it doesn't really change. Obviously the difference between the Pinnacle and these overdrive is the Pinnacle's a distortion. It's meant to just saturate the amp. Let me just, I'm going to put the tone up to about 2 o'clock and see what it's like there. And if I put the volume back on 12. That is right. Turn off. Right. There's another. There's 2 little switches here. Oh dear. There's 2 little switches here. One that says vintage and modern. See what difference they make. The boost, put the boost down. Right, so obviously up is on with I think that's quite a dark pedal, that Wampler Pinnacle. Just out of interest, what I'm going to do is change the settings so it's on a totally clean amp. Right. And we'll see what the Wampler Pinnacle's like on that. As you can see, that's proper clean, there's no breakup in it on that. So it does work with a clean amp, you know. Right, let me just out of interest see what a normal overdrive is like. Both the level and the gain are on about 2 o'clock on the Boss SD1. personally, I don't really think that works. Try the overdrive. Both on around 2 o'clock again. 3 o'clock. Right. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think that that the clean channel on this is great with pedals, because I think it's emulating a jazz chorus, which is a transistor amp anyway, so you don't get that warmth from what you get with, like, even with an old Fender that is, it's not totally clean, but you can still get it clean if it's got plenty of headroom, but you've still got the valves to push if you can. So I'll stick it on the boutique setting, which is supposed to be a matchless, I think. Try it through here. Right, let's go. Everything at 12 o'clock, all the EQs. I'm not going to mess with the EQs on the amp because we'll be here all day and I'll get lost on which EQ I've done with which pedal, so I may as well leave the EQs the same and just try the same EQs along the way on the pedals. So it's just broken up. It's broken up. Normally I'd take a bit of the bottom off that, but right. SD1. Oh, put that back to 12 o'clock. Right. Turn that off. Right, just for a laugh, we'll try the Wampler, although we know it's going to be mental. I think just on that, just out of interest, I'll bang the tone up a bit so it's... I don't know if it's me, or I don't think the tone controls do a great deal on that Wampler Pinnacle. I mean, yeah, it's got bags of gain, and I suppose that's what it's expected to do, but I don't think the tone controls are anywhere near as responsive as, say, on this Maxon. I mean, I made the mistake of assuming that this Boss Overdrive that's been modded by Keeley would just murder these two pedals, but that Maxon seems to be quite a surprise. Right, I'll take the drive down and I'll dime the level. So it's effectively just sticking more gain in the front end. Right, that was without it. Now, there's a subtlety to the Maxon, I think, that is really nice. I think so anyway. I don't know what you, the viewers, think. Put a bit more top end on there. Right, just start if I bring the gain up a bit more, so it's about 10 o'clock-ish. See? See, this Maxon one seems to be a lot more subtle than, and because of that you can still clean it up even when it's on. You can still clean it up. That's really surprised me, that. Right, let's try the SD1. I mean, the SD1's got more dirt in it, by the sounds of it. Let me just try the different setting on it, see if that changes. Put the level up and see. Right, just out of interest, if I dime the level, let's put it up. Try it on the different setting. So you can hear quite a bassy tone there. I'll put it back. Right, what I'm going to do now is look at stacking them. To be honest with you, both overdrive stacked, I thought it would feed back, especially the guitar, with the guitar being here. Now, I'm not an expert at stacking overdrives because I normally have the amp just where it's going off the cliff and stick either a tube screamer or an overdrive in front of it just to throw it off when you've got a guitar solo coming to give you that extra punch. But I've seen a few people be sort of, in fact, what I'll do is take that off, put there. Right, that's with a Boss overdrive with a level at 12 o'clock and the if I put it at the drive at 9 o'clock. On the OD9, the Maxon one, the drive is completely off and the level is on about 2 o'clock. So we'll see what. Right, that's with it off. Turn the Boss one off. I've got to admit, one thing I like about the Boss one a bit more is it's easy to turn the thing off. I mean, this Pinnacle, it's bloody hell. It's a bloody nightmare to turn on. It's like there's that, but that, you know, the Boss one is just. I mean, it's been like that for what, 40 years. So if it's not broken, don't mess with it. Last of all, I'm going to change to the dynamic channel on this Catalyst. All the EQs still at 12 o'clock. I'm not going to touch the EQs at all. Volume still on 4, which is about 10 o'clock. Slight reverb on 10 o'clock. No other effects. I'll start with all of them at 12 o'clock. Right. This dynamic channel is a bit grittier than that's guitar volume on full. Boss SD1. That'd sort of be my main metal tone, that. Years since I played any Van Halen. Right, that one. The Maxon OD9. Again, subtle. It's not quite got the aggression that the SD1's got. Now I've done this, I'm going to have to get an unmodded Boss Overdrive and do a comparison with this, because I think this is way more gainy than your average SD1. I'm sure it is. Right, while we're on that, I'll dime the level and pull the drive back. I'll pull the drive back to say 9 o'clock. Off. Right, and just for comparison's sake, I'll do exactly the same settings on the SD1 where the level's dimed and the drive's at 9 o'clock. You can ease straight away, can't you? With the buzzing coming through, the noise coming through, that it's just pushing out far more gain. Again, you can't clean it up while that SD1's on. Put the... See, that cleans up surprisingly well from the Maxon one. I know it's a lot more subtle, so it's going to be easier to clean up, but it seems to be a lot more transparent as well. Right. Last of all, just out of interest, the Wampler. I mean, I think one thing this does really well is illustrate the difference between a distortion and an overdrive. A distortion is just a flat out getting punched in the face, loads of gain. See? And that's just with the gain on 12 o'clock. It's not even, if I drop the gain a bit, let's see what. See, it's still screeching. Yeah. In fairness, I bought that Wampler on a bit of a whim. I'd seen a used one on Guitar. It was about 100 quid. And I'd seen a couple of reviews of them and everybody's saying they're the best things since sliced bread. I bought it, tried it a couple of times and then just stuck it in the cupboard. It's never been out since. But this Boss SD1 is normally on my pedal board. If I'm using a proper amp instead of say a modeler, I'll use that normally, because it's, like I say, it is gainy, and if I stick it in front of some valves, or even in front of this, when I've gigged this, I've had that as the solo boost for this. So I'll have this on I'll have a totally clean channel, and a channel that's like the crunch, where it's just going off the cliff but pull back a bit, and then I'll stick this in front of it for when there's a guitar solo and you need the guitar screaming, and it usually works brilliantly with this. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe on your way out. Thanks very much.